All right, let's just jump straight into this explainer, guys, because today we are unpacking what is easily one of the most anticipated directorial returns in modern Hindi cinema. I mean, if you follow the industry, you know for a fact that a truly great director can take a good script and elevate it into an absolutely unforgettable cinematic experience. And when a legendary filmmaker decides to step back into that director's chair after a massive, years-long hiatus, well, it sends literal shockwaves of excitement through the entire community. And that is exactly what's happening right now with the upcoming film Captain India, which marks the grand return of Shamit Amin. So this naturally brings us to the absolute million-dollar question, right? The one that has honestly baffled cinephiles for over a decade. Where on earth has the director of Chak De India been for 15 plus years? Seriously, it's a weight that has aged some of us. It's practically unheard of in our modern blockbuster era for a director to deliver back-to-back, culture-defining hits and then just vanish from feature filmmaking. For more than a decade and a half, his chair has just sat empty, and it's left this really noticeable void in the landscape of Hindi cinema. Section 1. The Legacy and the Long Hiatus. The Missing Auteur of the 2000s. Okay, Amin had an absolutely incredible hot streak. Just look at this run for a second. In 2004, he drops Ab Tak Chappan. In 2007, he gives us the absolute phenomenon that was Chak De India. And then in 2009, the critically acclaimed Rocket Singh Salesman of the Year. Right? These weren't just movies. These were defining cultural moments in the 2000s. But then, nothing. Just an agonizingly long cinematic silence stretching all the way to 2026 and beyond with Captain India. And honestly, this massive gap is exactly why expectations are currently through the roof. Now, if you're wondering why his specific filmmaking style is so deeply missed, it really all boils down to this. He has a distinctive ability to balance strong characters with compelling mainstream storytelling. And you know, that is a super rare gift. He doesn't just hand you a mindless popcorn flick, he gives you real, deeply rooted characters, but he wraps them up inside an incredibly gripping mainstream narrative. That specific cinematic signature, that's exactly what we've been craving. Moving on to Section 2, the catalyst. What brought Shamit Amin back? Well, as you'd expect, it takes a massive, high-stakes story to bring a guy like that back. Captain India is actually inspired by a major, real-life humanitarian rescue operation. The whole backdrop of the film is this intense, real-world evacuation of civilians to safety, getting them out of a war-torn country. So this isn't just some fabricated action plot they dreamed up. It's a narrative that is heavily grounded in profound real-world stakes and raw human survival. And this translates to the screen through a really fascinating duality. On one hand, you have the massive scale, the pure spectacle of a high-stakes aviation thriller. But then that collides directly with the emotional stakes of ordinary people who are just caught up in extraordinary circumstances. It's an unusual combination for sure, but that blend of scale and subject is exactly what lured Amin back. Because honestly, who better to handle the massive spectacle of an aviation thriller while making absolutely sure the emotional core remains front and center? All right, Section 3, the crew, building the rescue team. So this massive project is being assembled by producers Harman Baweja of Baweja Studios and Bhushan Kumar of T-Series. And leading the charge is Kartik Aaryan. He's going to be playing the pilot who is right at the absolute center of this high-risk rescue operation. And what you should really take away from this is just how major of a shift this is for Kartik. Right now, he's committed to Kabir Khan's upcoming sports drama, which he's supposed to wrap up by the first week of September. Once that's in the can, he is moving straight into Captain India. So we are going to see him make a very deliberate shift toward a much more serious, dramatic register. It's a super exciting evolution for him as an actor. But guys, the project is getting even bigger. Enter Parvati Thiruvodu. The latest reports confirm she has officially come on board in what is being described as a pivotal role. Now, the makers are keeping the specific details of her character strictly under wraps, which just adds a fantastic layer of secrecy and intrigue to the whole thing. But sources definitely confirm she's going to be an integral part of this narrative. And for those who might not know, Parvati is an absolute powerhouse. She has built an incredible body of work and earned massive acclaim across Malayalam cinema with huge hits like Take Off, Kude, Uyare, and Bangalore Days. Plus, she already made some serious waves with her Hindi debut opposite the late-great Irfan Khan in the 2017 romantic comedy Kareeb Kareeb Single that really brought her undeniable talent to a much wider audience. And you know, her Hindi project lineup is honestly only growing stronger. She recently appeared in Pankaj Tripata's Kadak Singh and even made a cameo in the survival thriller Tu Ya Main.
Up next, she's featured in Storm, which is Hrithik Roshan's maiden web series production premiering on Prime Video later this year. So the fact that Captain India was one of the most interesting Hindi projects offered to her recently, yeah, that speaks volumes about the quality of the script.
Oh, and the talent pool just keeps deepening. Veteran actor Manish Chaudhary has also reportedly joined the cast in a key role. You might have actually just seen him recently in Chand Mera Dil. Bringing him into the mix is absolutely going to add even further depth and gravity to an already stellar ensemble cast.
Which brings us to Section 4, Spectacle Meets Character Drama, The Perfect Storm.
See, the true promise of Captain India really lies in its balance. By putting together a cast of highly acclaimed character actors like Parvathy Thiruvathu and Manish Chaudhary, right alongside Kartik Aaryan, the film is essentially guaranteeing us that it's going to place just as much emphasis on its characters as it does on the massive, sweeping skill of its aviation sequences. So it's not just going to be a bunch of empty explosions and aerial stunts, right? It's going to rely heavily on real emotional depth. This whole combination of scale, subject, and sheer talent is literally a perfect match for Shimit Amin's signature style.
So think about it. With a real-life humanitarian operation serving as the backdrop, a massive star shifting gears into intense dramatic territory, a powerhouse ensemble cast, and a masterful director finally coming back after 15 long years, will Captain India become Shimit Amin's greatest rescue mission yet? It is undoubtedly one of the most intriguing Hindi projects currently taking shape, for sure. You're definitely going to want to keep your eyes on the skies for Captain India. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.